All right, man. Well, here at Bionic Buzz, we are all about people's passion. You're an amazing actor, producer, and I think director now. Even you have something you just directed coming up, right?
Yeah, yeah, I just directed a short film. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, where did your passion for storytelling kind of come from that made you get into the film industry? Was a certain performance inspired it, a
You know,
movie, TV show, or something that was just natural for you as a child?
I honestly, man, I grew up watching films. I just grew up watching film, man, and television, and I just kind of consumed all of it. And I saw some theater. I wasn't exposed to a ton of theater, but I started doing theater in high school. My mom was like, anyone that's a legitimate actor starts in theater. That's a good thing. And I didn't know anything about anything. So I was like, yeah, okay, that's an adult telling me that that's how it is. So I guess that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, so I started doing theater in high school. Had a really cool experience actually, and I think my senior year, I was in a play. I was like the lead in this it was a comedy farce. It was called While the Lights Were Out, and I just had this
Nice.
moment. I had this moment on stage, and I don't know. It was like I was making these choices, and people were laughing, and they were like getting like transported outside of whatever their day to day life was. And I knew I was there, and I felt something. I'm not a religious person, but I felt something, and I was like, this is like what I have to do. I have to do this for the rest of my life. And yeah, I mean, even as a kid, I was always telling stories or being weird or being goofy. I was always the class clown, and I don't know. I just kind of was like, I think I got to do this and take it seriously. So I started studying theater. I went to UC Riverside, studied
Uh
theater
huh.
out there, and yeah, I don't know. I just kind of, years later, I'm still doing it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you have this really fun horror movie out called House of Demons. It's very inspired by a lot of like horror classics from the 80s, got like that VHS grainy kind of feel to it. It's
Yeah.
available now on Amazon Prime. I highly recommend everyone check it out. Talk about how'd you get attached to this film?
I can't remember. It was like through a group of friends, I think, and I'd either submitted on one of the acting websites, or it was like they knew me via another friend, like a friend that was auditioning for it recommended me or something.
Hmm.
So then I went and met the filmmaker, Patrick Meany. I went to hang out with him, and we kind of talked about it. And we read the sides a little bit, and then I got attached. But yeah, Tiffany Smith is like a close friend of mine that was involved in it, and like Whitney Moore. Yeah, there was just some of these people that like I'd known, and Chloe Dykstra, and so we just all ended up getting cast in this film together, which was kind of awesome. It was like one of those things where I was like, this is amazing. I get to work with my friends, and I get to get closer with these people. So it was a really interesting time.
Cool. Are you a big like horror movie fan? Was it like a big deal to you actually be in like a horror movie or?
It's funny, man. Like growing up, I didn't watch a ton of horror movies. They scared the crap out of me. Like
No, no.
yeah, they freaked me out, man. I wasn't a huge fan. I mean, not to say that I didn't. I've always liked thrillers. I like monster movies. Like I like The Thing. The Thing is like one of my favorite. I love that movie.
Oh yeah, thing's awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Or so I just didn't like horror movies, like
Mhm.
the Friday the 13th. Like I would watch them, but they would freak me out so much.
Yeah.
And so being attached to this one was kind of interesting because it's like a weird kind of psychological, psychedelic kind of different style of this like kind of genre.
Mhm.
So it was really cool. It was really awesome, and it was the first time that I'd done this kind of thing, I think. So it was good.
Well, you also do stage work. You have something coming up for the LA Short Play Festival. I assume it's online,
Yeah, it is.
Saturday, August 8th.
Yeah, yeah, August 8th. Yeah, we're doing it. They're actually doing two nights. I'm involved in the second night, but they're doing one August 1st and August 8th.
Oh,
So you can
cool.
go to companyofangels.org, and like you can go. They're like one of the oldest rep theaters in LA. I think they're the oldest one actually. Um, and I've been involved. I've been a company member for like 2 or 3 years. They're fantastic. I spent a year in New York, so I wasn't super involved. But when I came back in March, right as all this stuff was getting all crazy, I came back and started kind of connecting with them more. We started having like Zoom meetings weekly, and you know, uh, yeah, they've been really great. And so we have these. It's called "What's Going On" is like the short play fest title, and it's based on the Marvin Gaye song. And essentially, we had playwrights from the community like to
Mhm.
write things about what's going on right now, whether that's being stuck at home, or whether that's the protests and all this stuff. And
Oh,
so
that's a cool concept.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really great, man. So we've got some really cool people that are involved in it. We got some good performers and stuff. And yeah, I mean, we're just gonna make it work via Zoom, and we're gonna be streaming it. So that's gonna be pretty cool.
All right. So you directed something called Stay With Me. Is it a film or short film
So
or?
Stay With Me is the short film. I mean, is the short play that I'm directing for this piece.
Oh, gotcha. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Ron McCants is was the writer of it. He's like a TV writer and stuff like that. So
Uh-huh.
he wrote this piece. I'm directing it. Luis Kelly Duarte and Cairo Spencer, they're acting in it, and so I directed that, and I'm acting in one called No Caps. So I'm doing an acting one and I'm doing a directing one. So
Oh, cool. All
yeah,
right. So all right, I got my notes mixed up. So you have a short film also out called Once that
yeah.
you
So
directed.
that is what I did. I did that during quarantine.
Hmm.
So I got a DSLR, and I was like, I always wanted to shoot a short film, and it was one of those things where a friend of mine was like, let's do a creative thing, like a project, and then I was going to be a smaller thing, and then I was like, I'm just going to do it all the way, and I did this kind of thing. I starred in it, and it's weird directing yourself. It's a weird thing to do. It's cool. I mean,
I hope you've videotaped yourself directing yourself for like some
dude,
extras or
I don't know
something.
if I have any actual footage of it running, but I'm actually not kidding. There was a moment where I had to just step out of myself, and I had to pretend I was me talking to myself about like the acting side of it, being like, dude, what you're actually doing and what your objective is this and this, so you have to do that, try this. And it's like, but I couldn't do that in my head. I had to do it out loud. So I was like a lunatic, just sitting in my apartment talking to myself for a second there. Yeah, but I wrote it, directed it, I edited it, the whole thing. So it's kind of crazy to have like complete artistic control over something. I loved it. I
That's
enjoyed it.
cool though. I mean, keep you creative during this time. I feel like we all go insane if we didn't have something to do, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And I talk about it's a it's an interesting thing. It's about, sure, it's about quarantine, I guess, directly, but it's also just about how we quarantine ourselves, and like the things that we are passionate about, the things that we want to
Yeah.
do, the things that we don't do, but we always say we want to do. So it has a lot of those elements. It touches on mental health and stuff. So it's just like I don't know, it just kind of was bred from what was happening, and I just kind of made it, and I'm going to start submitting to film festivals and stuff like that. So hopefully it'll be up somewhere soon.
Gotcha. All right. Before I let you go, where can we stay up to date with your crazy adventures on social media or a website also?
Yeah, I gotta get a website, man. Everyone keeps telling me to get one, and I'm just like, what do I need a website for? But yeah, I should probably
Yeah,
get
I think a lot of people just have a website just to link to their social media, so there's just one link out there.
one. Yeah, yeah, it's easier. No, so I am Jeff Torres. That's gonna be my Twitter and my Instagram. So you can follow me. That's where I do my stuff. I do a thing called Shirtless Kitchen sometimes on my Instagram.
Oh, really?
It's like a fitness, healthy eating. I don't know. It's like a comedy, kind of like healthy, quick snack making thing that I do sometimes. So
Oh, I'll have
you
to
know,
watch that. It sounds good.
yeah. Yeah, pretty much. But that's where you can find me, and I'm pretty sure that's where I hang out. Yeah, on social media.
All right. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for your time to talk to me, and we'll talk down the road. All right.
Oh, absolutely, man. Thanks so much for having me.
All right, man. You take care.
All right, you too, dude.